Hello and welcome to Math Time. To start out our math time today, I'm going to ask Farmer Brown to show up, say a howdy, howdy, and then to help us to count by tens all the way up to 150. You ready to count with Farmer Brown? Good. Remember that it's only going to show up on the column that shows tens. So it's pretty simple to count using a chart. And let's go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Good. That was pretty easy for you, right? Counting by tens is an old skill already. You've been doing that. I'm proud of you for working so hard with it. Now I'm going to ask you to help me to say the order of numbers when I say a number. These numbers are going to have more than one. They'll have two or three. For example, 97. 97. 9 and then a 7. Is that what you said? Okay. 54. A 5 and then a 4. 103. Ooh, that one's tricky. 1 and then a 0 and then a 3. That's 103. 48. A 4 and then an 8. Hopefully you're saying them before I write it. And next one, let's do a last one. 60. 6 and then a 0. This is a great skill for you to practice with somebody in your house. You can have them call out random numbers and then you write it down. And of course they have to write it down on their side also, so you can match it up and see if your numbers agree with them, right? But that's a really good way for you to practice because we can forget which number comes first, like 68, oh it's the 6 and then the 8. Even the name 60 sometimes is confusing to us. What does it look like? Oh yeah, 6, 0. Okay, next, let's take a look at some word problems by drawing pictures. We're going to listen to word problems and draw pictures to solve them. That's a skill that we're reviewing because we were doing that a lot last week and you were pretty good at it. Here's the first problem. I'm reading out of my teacher's manual. Mrs. Brown baked 4 apple pies on Monday morning and she baked 2 cherry pies on Monday afternoon. What is the total number of pies that Mrs. Brown baked on Monday? Be careful, my friends, that when you hear a math problem or you read a math problem, you figure out which information is important to write down or notice and which information you can just forget. Because if you try to remember all the information in the word problem, you might focus on the wrong information and your answer will not be correct. For example, is it important to remember that there were apple pies and cherry pies? No, because the question at the end does not talk about flavors of pies. It talks about total number of pies. So the flavor doesn't matter. Don't pay attention to the words apple and cherry. Ignore them. If you can learn to pick out the right information in these problems, you're going to be a great mathematician. It does take practice, however, and a lot of focus and really sharp listening skills. So let's try it again. Mrs. Brown baked 4 apple pies on Monday morning and she baked 2 cherry pies on Monday afternoon. What is the total number of pies that Mrs. Brown baked on Monday? Another piece of extraneous, unimportant information is the day of the week. Does it matter that it was Monday? Not in this problem, maybe a different kind of problem, but this one, The fact that it was Monday, you can forget about that. It's not important. What are we looking for at the end of this word problem? The question is total number of pies. That's it. Not flavor of pies and not day of the week. Total number of pies. So what are you going to write down? You're going to write down pictures to show the number of pies that Mrs. Brown baked in the morning. That's the first time. So you're going to probably do circles, I imagine, because it's easy and that's kind of like the shape of a pie. That's how many she baked in the morning. And then go ahead and put the number of pies she baked in the afternoon, and I'm going to put them next to each other because it was all in the same word problem, and count up the total, and the total was 6, right? Okay, and let's write a number sentence. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. That's the expression of the pictures, and the pictures were the expression of the words. So your answer is 6. Total number of pies that Mrs. Brown baked were 6. Very important piece of information. What do they want to know? The total number, and we have it as 6. Okay. Let's try another problem. Mrs. Brown baked 6 pies on Monday. She took 1 pie to Mrs. Wood, her pastor's wife. How many pies does she have now? Again, does it matter who did the baking and who received the pie? No, not in this problem. Maybe in a different kind of problem, because the question at the end of this word problem is, how many pies does she have now? So the only important information is number of pies. Don't worry about people and who baked what and who took what. Okay, so what are you going to write down for your picture? Go ahead and draw a picture. I hope you came with pencil and paper because that makes it more fun. We can interact. Okay, so she did 6 pies. Here are my 6 circles. Those are my pies. And how many did she give away? Do you remember? 1. So there it goes. That's the one she gave away. And how many is she left with now? Well, count it up. The answer is 5. And we can write that out as 6 minus 1 equals 5. Yes, it is a subtraction problem because she gave 1 away. So 6 minus 1 equals 5. Good. So you crossed off because she was giving it away, and when you cross off, you know it's subtraction and you have to put a minus sign. When there's a word like altogether, it means you're putting more items into the story, and that's addition with a plus sign. Okay, great. Now we're going to talk about the seasons. We've discussed it before, so this is review, but we're going to go a little bit more into detail, and I will look for, oh, here it is, my season sign: winter, spring, summer, fall. And here it says our little poem: winter and spring, summer and fall are God's 4 seasons, name them all. The sun may shine, the rain may fall, in God's 4 seasons, name them all. Let me scoot you down here because we're going to talk about how to organize these seasons in the year's calendar. There we go. So here are the 4 seasons. We do know there are 12 months in the year, right? January, February, March, and April, May and June and July and August, September and October and November and December, 12 months in the year. Let's see if you can remember them. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And the song helps us to remember when it's a little bit tricky. Okay, in the winter, in in the winter, when there's snow and snow-related activities, that has 3 months. December, let's start with the first one. October, November, actually, sorry. November, December, and January. No. Sorry, I lost my card. Oh, here it is. That's still autumn. Winter is December, January, and February. That's when most of the country will see snow. And here it'll just be chilly. Now in the spring, when most of the country starts to see lots of rain and the trees are starting to get flowers and it's still a little bit chilly, but it's not freezing cold, that's spring, and that is March, April, and May. March, April, and May are the spring months. Okay. What about summer? Summer is when it's really, really hot in Miami and everywhere else. But it's really hot in Miami, and that's June, July, and August. 3 months are in summer. And the fall is when most of the country gets pretty cool. We get a little bit cooler too in the weather, but the trees turn different colors and the leaves die and fall off the trees, and even the grass and flowers go away so that the trees are bare all over, and that's September, October, and November. So the year's seasons are divided. Each season has 3 months. Winter has December, January, February. Spring has March, April, May. Summer has June, July, August, and winter has September, October, November. So that organization of months is the same for everyone, including us in Miami. It's just the weather is not quite the same in all places, but there's actually still the same 4 seasons everywhere that we go in this country: winter, spring, summer, and fall. Well, that means how many seasons are total in the year? 4, remember, okay? And when the seasons are all completed, then what happens? They start all over again. They keep going. The seasons keep going. Winter, spring, summer, fall. And then again, winter, spring, summer, fall, every year. Now we have a page to work out together. That one is page 303. So please bring it to your table now, or you can stop the video and come back to it later when you're ready to do the work together. These are the directions. Okay, so you're going to cut out the 4 trees and glue them in the correct season. You have the trees below there, and we just discussed how they look different in each season, even though in Miami it's not quite that way. In page 304 on the flip side, then what you will do is find the winter picture. See the 4 pictures at the top of the page? Find the winter picture and put a purple X in the box under it. Put a purple X under winter. And then find spring and put a green X under spring picture. Next, find the summer picture and put a red X under it. And then find the fall picture and put a brown X under it. All right? So if you have a little time, it would be wonderful for you to do a picture of an activity in your favorite season. Even if it's not one that's happening here in Miami, you can still make a picture and post it in Class Dojo activities and show what it is that you think is the most beautiful part of any of the 4 seasons. It could be something that you like to do, or how nature looks, or some place you would like to see in one of those 4 seasons, one of those 4 places. And that's our math lesson for today. I'm really glad that we spent this time together, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Thursday. Goodbye. God bless you. I love you guys.